At the Royal Rumble itself, you'll get involved in 2 matches, Ted. First, it's gonna be The Undertaker and IRS, and then you're gonna manage Bam Bam and Tatanka in a tag team title match against the 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly. Kid and Holly are gonna get the win, and afterwards, Lawrence Taylor is seen at ringside laughing at Bam Bam Bigelow. Bigelow shoves him, and this is gonna kickstart the main event at WrestleMania 11. So pretty cool. Lawrence Taylor, big icon and a pro football famer, one of the best to ever do it. Dad, rumor has it that for this appearance at the Royal Rumble, if you had to guess how much Lawrence Taylor got paid to come out there and laugh at Bam Bam and get shoved, how much would you guess Lawrence Taylor got paid for this?
I don't want to guess. I really, really don't want to know. But I mean, for an athlete of his caliber, who knows? $1 million? I don't know.
The estimate that I had heard is a lot more conservative. I was told that he made $100,000 for this appearance. Just come out and get shoved after laughing at Bam
Oh
Bam.
yeah,
That was all he did, $100,000, and then he got another $100,000 for his WrestleMania payoff. So pretty decent little chunk of change
yeah,
for the guy.
yeah. Not too bad.
Not bad at all. Ted, let's talk quickly about Bob Holly. He is a guy that I don't think that we've discussed here on the show before. Bob has a race car driver gimmick, and he'll drive a WWF sponsored race car in actual derbies. I guess Vince McMahon is his sponsor, and
Yeah,
he's buying him race cars. So he'll later go on to be better known as Hardcore Holly, and he has developed a reputation for being legitimately tough as nails. One of the toughest guys ever in wrestling. But I don't know. It's Ted, a race car gimmick. What do you think?
well, I mean, hey, everybody's got a gimmick. It's like, what's yours? So, I mean, that's it. That's it. So, you gotta, it's kind of like, uh, well, like when Vince said to me, he says, Ted, he says, everything has been done in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done and it's been redone. We've had cowboys and we've had Indians. We've done this, but he said, but this thing, he says, I'm going to do with you. It's a fresh idea. It's like, you might have some people who have flaunted, just going to the ring and all that, and what have you, and having a good looking valet or whatever the deal. But somebody who, somebody who we paint this picture of, this guy is like loaded and he just throws money away,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest with you, Vince threw a lot of money away.
Sure did.
I mean, literally, where I was throwing handfuls of, well, they weren't all $100 bills, but $100 bills and what have you. And of course, Vince wrote every dime of that off as marketing.
Yep. And it
So,
is.
yeah,
It is. And let me say too, at this age, I was about 7 or 8 during this period of time. I thought Bob Holly was the coolest shit that ever happened in wrestling. He's
yeah,
a race car driver, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. This guy races cars and he fights people. This is the coolest guy ever. So, I mean, there was a lot of crossover, I think, for fans.
yeah,
It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty amusing that Vince comes up with this idea. It's the era of like job gimmicks, and this guy's job was that he was a race car driver who also just happened to be a wrestler.
yeah,
So I don't know, pretty fascinating.
yeah.
Bob would have still been active in the WWF whenever you were working backstage. Do you have any memories of working with Bob, or not so much?
Not so much. I mean, a good guy. I thought he was a great guy, but I didn't have much interaction with him.
Good guy, good worker.
Yeah,
Just it took him a little bit to find maybe the gimmick that worked best for him.
yeah,
The winner of the 1995 Royal Rumble is going to be Shawn Michaels. And to me, Ted, this really marks a change in how things are being done in the WWF. Shawn was easily the smallest competitor to ever win a Rumble. And it feels like this is a real shift in from the big guy era of wrestling to the smaller and more athletic generation of guys. Ted, we know that you had worked with Shawn when he was very young, and certainly he had all of the in-ring ability. But when you see a guy Sean's size beating 29 other guys and then getting a shot at the WWF title at WrestleMania, I mean, is there any initial like, hey, what are we doing? Or were you all on board for it?
Brother, I was all on board for it. I mean, Sean, Sean, and I, the first time I saw Sean, he was this little quiet guy who sat in the dressing room, at Bill Watts's during Mid South is where I first saw him when he was this no name kid who showed up, and so, but no, Sean had it, and I mean, it's kind of like there have been people who it's like I don't know, it's like in an innate sense with me, it's kind of like okay, it's like you get in the ring with when you get in the ring with a guy, you can tell whether he's got it or he doesn't. He can make all the moves right, but you cannot give anybody charisma.
Mm-hmm.
You either have it or you don't. And Sean had a barrelful of charisma.
Yes, he did.
And I said, and I don't know if I told him, but I know I said to myself, I said, this kid's going to go places. And he did.
Arguably here in 1995, the best wrestler on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
So he earned his spot, that's for sure.
Amen.
Well, we're almost at the end here, Ted, but want to hit this as a little teaser for the next time we cover this period of time. Coming out of the Rumble, you're going to be paired with Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine. This character is apparently a response to the success that UFC was having during this time. And Kama is, of course, the former Papa Shango, who would later probably best come to be known as the Godfather. Ted, Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine. What do you think of Big Charles and this gimmick?
Well, Charles was a great guy, but I wasn't really crazy about that gimmick. And I think, what he evolved into was a whole lot better.
I think so too.
Yeah.
No,
I think if you asked him, he'd tell you the same thing.
I would guess so.
Yeah.
So Ted, if you had to choose, what about do you like his character Papa Shango better, or what he became as the Godfather later on?
I like the Godfather.
You do?
Yeah.
How much do you know about that kid? He's a pimp, right?
Yeah.
Gimmick.
Yeah. But again, he was a heel.
Mm-hmm. He became a baby face though because it got over. Like the idea of him trying to trade women so he didn't have to wrestle a guy. Pretty funny.
Yeah, well, maybe I should think that over again.
He would come out before his match and say like, "Hey, look, you and I can fight right now, or you can just say that I win and forfeit the match, and I'll let you go home with a couple of these ladies that came to the ring with me."
Yeah, well, maybe I should go with Papa Shango.
Papa Shango it is.